I shouldn't be, but I am. She's so rattled and frightened that she couldn't even do an interview with a great guy named Joe Rogan. Couldn't do it. And if she can't handle an interview, she sure as hell can't handle President Xi, can she? She can't handle President Xi of China. She will get overwhelmed, she will melt down, and millions of people will die with her stupidity. They got us into Ukraine. We should have never gone into Ukraine. If I was president, you would have never gone into Ukraine. This is not a charity event. This is an election for the biggest and toughest job in human history. This is the biggest job in history. And on top of it, we have to save our country. Do you want to lose your life savings because we put a weak and foolish person in the White House? Do you want to lose your job and maybe your house and pension because Kamala has the economic understanding of a child? She's like a child. I watch her. I'm good at this stuff. I watch her. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And every one of those companies will move. They'll move to Asia. They'll move to Europe. They'll move. Everybody wants those companies. But we do too, and we're not letting them go. Take a look. Take a look at what we did with John Deere. I mean, I just heard it. I just heard it just recently that John Deere has announced that they're not going to move to Mexico. If they do move to Mexico, they're going to pay a big price. They can sell anywhere they want, but they're not selling in the United States of America, okay? And I like John Deere, and I'm a big customer of John Deere, and maybe they'll red flag me. They'll say, you can't buy from John Deere, and I'll buy from somebody else if I have to. But they're not going to move their manufacturing plants to Mexico unless they want to pay a very big price. This presidency is a job held by Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, Dwight Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan, people of strength and intelligence. Would you trust Kamala Harris to talk to Russia or China and talk them out of a war? Let's talk. I don't think you would. Would you trust her to steer us out of an economic calamity? She has put us into, and we are right now, we had the lowest job numbers I think I've ever heard. I've never heard of 12,000 jobs, John, have you? I don't think so. We've done this for a long time. I don't think I've ever heard of 12,000 jobs. Nothing is more dangerous than to give an immense amount of power to a very weak and incompetent and low IQ person. That's what you're giving. You're giving the presidency to a low IQ person. We had that for 4 years. We can't take another 4 years. I mean, the mistakes this guy made, and she was there, right? She was there. She approved everything she said. She'd like to have that statement back. You wouldn't put Kamala Harris in charge of literally a kindergarten class. You wouldn't be able to do the job. So at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, can you afford to put someone this incompetent in charge of our country's future? No, you can't. On top of it all, Kamala says she would do one thing. Remember this. She would do one thing different, and then she took it back because she forgot the thing. So she said she wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden, which is disqualifying. They've got almost a 90% wrong track. You know, right track, wrong track? It's the highest wrong track in the history of our country, almost 90%.